Hello everyone and welcome back to Infinity Games and a Merry Christmas to you all, because that is what we say these days. Nice little mug. Originally I was going to try and do something a bit more like cutesy, but I don't think I'm going to do that this time around. I think this time just going to get straight into it. I was going to do a properly edited video, but I just want to do this as a short. Today I want to talk about, well, not a short as in the YouTube terminology, you know what I mean, a shorter video than usual. Today I want to talk about Mickey's A Christmas Carol. So yeah, I've got a bunch of notes on my phone about things that I noticed while watching that short film yesterday, and I want to talk about it. So, Scrooge McDuck. It was destiny, really. When they created a character named Scrooge McDuck, they had to make him Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. You know, that's just begged for. Bit sad that we didn't get to see Huey, Dewey and Louie, but oh well. I will say that initially you'd think you'd be forgiven for believing that Scrooge McDuck is a lot softer as Ebenezer Scrooge, and then Donald Duck waltzes in merrily playing Fred, and he goes berserk pretty much. Like he gets absolutely furious. Mickey as Bob Cratchit isn't quite the stroke of genius that Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit is, but it's still pretty good. Like, it's a good time. Yeah, Scrooge is more cunning, which, yeah, you'd expect that, really. Scrooge McDuck is the most brilliant adventurer of all time. He's gonna be good at tricking people. You know, he's also a bit more of a smart ass than Ebenezer Scrooge would be. But, you know, this is the Mickey Mouse version. It's gonna be funny. Yeah, ducks. Honestly, I do think that ducks are the best sort of Scrooges, and I will get to who the other duck that played Scrooge in a version of A Christmas Carol is one day in this month. Yeah, Goofy being Marley is where it really starts to take a turn, because naturally you can't have Goofy on screen without him being goofy. And it becomes a lot more slapstick, as is the case with Goofy. Oh gosh, that is terrible. Why the fuck did I do that? Yeah. Yeah, it was a really nice segment because Goofy kind of trips up a lot and he's kind of fumbling over himself and fumbling over his words, and he goes to act all jolly and then realises he has to be like, oh, serious. Oh, I'm here to give you a warning. You know, that sort of thing. The animation, by the way, I noticed this when they were in the house. It was gorgeous. It was really detailed. Like, I love 80s animation. I really do. And the haunting segment in general is just really good because Scrooge sees the Goofy on his door knocker, freaks out, walks in, and as he's walking through, Goofy's kind of trailing him, and that's just phenomenal. I love that. Yeah, it's kind of a serious retelling though for the most part. Like, it's shorter, they fit in under half an hour, but it's brilliant. Like, I love it. It's serious. It's not trying to be a happy flappy, you know, fun-filled retelling for the kids. It's trying to be a serious version of that with a little bit of humour in. Yeah, I'm not doing that, no. I was going to do a whole joke about the only spirits I like being different forms of alcohol, but, like, no, that was embarrassing when I wrote it yesterday, and it's embarrassing now. Yeah, Jiminy Cricket as the Ghost of Christmas Past. I don't have many notes on that. I just like Jiminy Cricket's name. Jiminy Cricket. How you do, Jiminy Cricket? What am I? No. Unfortunately, the school is skipped, but you know that's pretty standard. I think Fezziwig is played by the usual frog. Like, I know that there's a frog in Mickey Mouse. I just don't know his name. And Belle I believe Belle is played by Daisy in this because obviously when Belle's relevant, she's Scrooge is a young man, although he never really looks different. Shocking, I know. I don't like that I skipped the school because I quite like that segment where I don't remember her name, Fleur or something. I don't know off the top of my head. I actually studied this story at school. It's a thing. You'd think I'd remember. But yeah, I don't... Oh yeah. Scrooge in this version tells Belle to get stuffed, basically, which was a bit sad. I like the idea that she walked out on him because he began to idolise the penny over loving his girlfriend who wanted to marry him. And then we get to the whole Ghost of Christmas Present thing, and full disclosure, I don't think they could ever have done this justice in my mind. It cannot be any better than the Ghost of Christmas Present from, what's it called? The Muppets Christmas Carol. Which, well, we'll talk about the Muppets Christmas Carol, believe me. But they have the giant that I know for a fact has been in other stuff, I just can't remember what he's been in. And in this version he's a lot harsher. You know, you have, in the Muppets Christmas Carol, he's kind of just Santa Claus. Like, he is the traditional image of Santa Claus, just younger and growing old as the segment grows, as the segment goes on. And Scrooge, he does, like, say, fee fi fo fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman, which isn't right because Scrooge is Scottish, not English. Small issue, I know, but keep it consistent, lads. Keep it consistent. Like I say, he is a lot harsher. He is a bit cruel to Scrooge. The Cratchits are kind of what you'd be expecting in A Christmas Carol, with Tiny Tim being adorable. But it really hit me when Cratchit was having to cut up a pea. That's so sad. That really does point out how bad it is. When I first watched, I wasn't 100% sure who the ghost of yet to come was, as Scrooge just kind of dropped off in the graveyard as is. But I realised as he was removing his hood that it was probably going to be Pete. Pete is a character I have vague memories of from the old days of Mickey Mouse, but I don't really remember. I just know that he plays villains a lot. Played a lot of villain stuff in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We've got to talk about that one day, haven't we? Yeah, so... Yeah, I will say that I noticed there was a lot of smoking in this version, which is odd for a Mickey Mouse film. I don't really expect it. But yeah. The charity men were a joy. I don't really know who they are, but obviously I know A Christmas Carol. I know that book. I know that story. I've had to study that story through a critical gaze. I do know what it's about. They were also Dr. Bunsen and Beaker, so I was never going to forget them, was I? So, yeah. when Scrooge goes over to the house, I really like it because he's trying to act all tough to Cratchit, as he pretends to be still this huge arsehole. But he has this whole thing like where the toy falls out of the bag, Tiny Tim sees it and smiles, he tries to hide it, and then as he's continuing to go off on Cratchit as he tells him that he's giving him a raise and making him his partner, Tiny Tim kind of like is looking in the bag and he sees all the toys. But yeah, to sum up, as I've kind of just described it, I loved this. It was so charming, like it was so beautiful. It was such a great retelling of such a classic, the greatest Christmas story ever told, through the lens of some of the best characters ever. And I loved it. It really is a charming short film, and it's a must-watch for all the family every Christmas. So get on that. To those of you with families, my good friends who have families, my good viewers with families, go and watch it with your kids, okay? And tune in for tomorrow, which I believe... Yeah, I can talk about that tomorrow. That will be easy. I have a plan for tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you all happy and jolly tomorrow, right here, same place, similar-ish time, knowing me. I love you all. Merry Christmas.